Ladies and gentlemen, the hip-hop streets are on fire. According to reports, Jim Jones, who once walked through Harlem like a king, is crying after hearing a shocking revelation that would have had even Maury Povich yell, "You are not the father." Or did I hear correctly? Chrissy, Jim's longtime companion and reality TV ride-or-die star, has been embroiled in the messiest controversy of the decade, according to shocking new revelations. Perhaps a dishonest intern with a poor Wi-Fi connection snuck it out of a courtroom. Was recently revealed to Jim that Chrissy had been concealing a child. We're getting straight into this controversy, which is the scandal of all scandals. The courtroom that was set up to discreetly handle yet another celebrity drama abruptly becomes the scene of the most shocking betrayal Harlem has ever witnessed. Jim Jones, Mr. We Fly High, Dipset royalty, isn't even in the air. The most startling betrayal in hip-hop history has been the deceit, arrogance, and treachery. Above all, how did it ever occur in Jim's presence? Our very reliable, really questionable sources close to the situation now claim that Jim has just collapsed because of a reality that no amount of street cred or icy swagger could shield him from. What is causing the rapper-turned-business tycoon to purportedly cry into his scarf from Louis Vuitton? And yet here we are, reports from what can only be described as Chrissy, the woman who held him down for decades, who stood by him through label wars, tour drama, and enough reality show fights to make us look weak, whose loyalty was supposed to be unmatched, who actually proposed to Jim on national television in what is still one of VH1's most paused moments. Chrissy has been keeping the biggest secret from Jim, the world, and probably even the creators of Love and Hip Hop. It's not a side gig. It's a questionable LLC or even a burner Instagram account. According to the most tumultuous court session since Cardi B admitted to throwing shoes at strippers. How can a man who previously asserted that he has eyes and ears everywhere ignore a huge baby-sized elephant in the room? I understand what you're thinking. The janitor, who overheard everything while sweeping outside the courtroom, said that Jim was taken by surprise during the "if you're too young or in a bubble to recall the Dipset era." Here's the context you need to know how chaotic it was. Jim and Chrissy were from Love and Hip Hop to Harlem block parties. Through breakups, makeup, on again, off again turmoil, missed weddings, matching tattoos, and public disagreements that left fans yelling, "Just marry her already." They essentially created the template for "we're toxic," but they made it famous. Because, let's face it, if Cameron is in the room, something messy is about to happen. Cameron allegedly said, "I'm about to reveal why my brother Jim has been walking around thinking he was living in a love story, when he was actually starring in a daytime soap opera." Petty king of hip-hop, the man who decided to add gasoline to this already blazing dumpster fire, allegedly entered the courtroom in a pink mink wearing a Grim Reaper and showed the receipts of Chrissy's alleged betrayal. According to our anonymous legal insider, shout out to the court sketch artist who leaked the information. Opera. The evidence presented allegedly demonstrates that Chrissy was secretly involved with another man years ago. And that relationship resulted in a child that Jim was unaware existed. This is not just some random messy rumor. Oh no, the courtroom apparently erupted like it was the BET Awards, and someone announced Beyoncé was pregnant again. You could hear the gasps, the stifled sobs, and the sound of Jim's entire legacy cracking, like a cheap iPhone screen after a drop. Jim allegedly slumped in his chair, removed his designer sunglasses, and whispered to his lawyer, "I can't believe this. Could this be the man who built his reputation on street code, loyalty, and keeping it real?" For him, loyalty is more than just a word. It's his brand and his entire persona. He allegedly kept this kind of devastating secret. And if you think the courtroom was shaken, just consider how quickly the screenshots leaked online. It wasn't just betrayal. It was character assassination in broad daylight. Social media was a battleground. with memes, hashtags, TikToks, and think pieces from fake relationship experts who somehow obtained a master's degree in dipset drama. In a matter of hours, Chrissy's secret child trended globally. Jim Jones's discovery that Chrissy had a secret child was the plot twist we didn't realize we needed in 2024. But it happened before the show while fans were busy deciphering timelines and calculating celebrity paternity. Sources claim that during season 3, Jim disappeared from public view, canceled all appearances, and ducked out of a booked club hosting gig. He also unfollowed Chrissy on Instagram, which is effectively filing for divorce in 2024. Chrissy hasn't made a single post or comment, which has only served to fuel the rumors further, because, as any fake news investigator knows, silence is guilt. Or at least it makes the situation seem more likely. The judge slammed the gavel down and said sharply, "We are adjourned until tomorrow morning." Further evidence and witness testimonies will be presented. Even Cameron, who is typically the king of shady Instagram captions, has kept it relatively low-key. But trust me, if history is any indication, he's just loading the next round of petty for the perfect moment. Now, everyone is left wondering, how in the world did Jim not know? How can a man surrounded by cameras, friends, and haters miss a secret this big? Is this the ultimate betrayal, or is there more to this story than we've been told? This is where things get dark. As reporters and paparazzi rushed the courthouse steps like wild animals, the crowd burst into stunned chatter. And by dawn, the courthouse had become the town's most exciting circus, with reporters, bloggers, TikTok, detectives, and every shade of gossip page imaginable camped outside like sneakerheads waiting for a new Jordan drop. The atmosphere was electric, chaotic, and unquestionably messy, just like the internet likes it. Tensions were at an all-time high inside the courthouse, and Jim Jones showed up with his legal team, a hoodie pulled over his head, sunglasses on, and a face that said, one, the judge reminded everyone to remain calm and warned that any outbursts would not be tolerated, which obviously meant nothing because the energy was too messy, gossipy, and scandalous for anyone to behave. Cameron, on the other hand, arrived fashionably late, dressed in a bright pink tracksuit and what could only be described as "I told you so" energy. Then came the next bombshell. The prosecution, backed by anonymous sources, allegedly including a hairstylist who heard it all and a bitter ex-friend, presented what they claimed was unquestionable proof of Chrissy's alleged double life. Even Cameron, who had been scrolling through his phone like he was utterly bored for most of the morning, raised an eyebrow and exclaimed, "Jim, according to the documents, Chrissy and a man only identified in court documents as Mr. X had, allegedly, reignited an old flame around the time Jim and Chrissy were allegedly working on wedding plans." Witnesses reported that Jim froze, and his attorneys whispered that he appeared to have just been hit with a sledgehammer of betrayal. The prosecution claimed that Chrissy was providing financial support for a child that Jim was not aware of, while the defense claimed that the payments were for private family matters and charitable donations. But the damage was already done. As the prosecution continued to unearth their so-called mountain of evidence, TikTok conspiracy theorists pieced together timelines, compared old Love and Hip Hop episodes, looked for suspicious gaps in Chrissy's Instagram posts, and even compared pictures of Mr. X as a baby. As the circus raged online, Jim sat silently, with no posts, tweets, or even a passive-aggressive mood meme. Some fans began posting side-by-side photos of Jim from years ago versus now, with captions like "This man has aged 15 years overnight." One TikTok user boldly declared, "Prove resemblance. Look at that nose. It's genetics, babe. Prayers up." Cameron, who never of himself sipping tea, the next witness, a former friend of Chrissy's who was shielded by her Jane Doe status, testified that Chrissy had allegedly confided in her years ago about an accident that resulted in a child, and that she had no plans to ever tell Jim. The courtroom erupted in applause as the judge struck the gavel twice, but it didn't help. Jane Doe went on to say that Chrissy had justified the secrecy by saying, "I couldn't risk him finding out. This would ruin everything." According to Jane, Chrissy was terrified that the truth would ruin not only their relationship, but also their lucrative reality TV endorsements. The rumors outside the courtroom had now escalated into a full-scale media storm, with tabloids screaming headlines and the baby bombshell that shook Dipset Chrissy's darkest secret finally revealed. The memes were vicious. One viral hit showed Jim's famous "We Fly High" video with the caption changed to "We Cry High," while another featured Mona Scott Young with devil horns, allegedly planning how to turn this into 10 new episodes of Love and Hip-hop fans ate it. But Jim Jones reportedly looked up and stared straight ahead for the first time since the scandal started, his face unblinking, saying, "This wasn't just betrayal. This was destruction. Destruction." The public laughed inside the courtroom, but things got serious as the defense, clearly shaken, argued that none of the evidence definitively proved anything. The alleged texts were taken out of context. The payments were charitable family support, and the witness testimony was unreliable hearsay from a former friend turned opportunist. The judge announced that more witnesses would be heard the following day. The courtroom was electric as reporters frantically typed notes. Courtroom sketch artists captured every dramatic reaction, and fans outside were live streaming in hopes of catching even a shadow of Jim or Chrissy walking in or out as the court adjourned. Fans gathered outside with signs that read, ruthlessly, "Jim, blink twice if you're okay." Another read, "Chrissy had a whole side quest, and Jim didn't even get the side mission notification." The world waited for Mr. X to show up and finally tell the truth, for Chrissy to speak up, for Jim to even get over this, and for Cameron's petty reign to continue to escalate. The court date was set, and the media dubbed it Judgment Day for Dipset. Then, as if the gods of drama were preparing, the fans didn't have to wait long because day 3 of the trial was only hours away. And as the cameras reported, the internet did what the internet does best: predictions, wild accusations, fake screenshots, and, of course, memes. The season finale breaking news flashed across everyone's phones unconfirmed. Mr. X is on his way to testify in New York, and the streets went crazy. Day 3 of the trial was supposed to be the most explosive yet. And as the sun set over New York City, one question remained on everyone's mind. Would Jim Jones lose not just his relationship, but his entire legacy? The world held its breath, wondering what would happen next. The trial had officially been renamed The Day Mr. Her. X arrived, and news vans lined the block. The scandal wasn't slowing down. It was about to explode all over again. As the sun rose over Manhattan, the city felt heavier and darker, as if even the concrete knew what was coming. Crowds had already gathered outside the courthouse at dawn. Some people had skipped work, some had flown in from other states, and TikTokers were rehashing facial expressions. Then an unmarked black SUV pulled up, and the door opened to reveal a tall, sharply dressed. The crowd turned to watch a man in a navy suit and dark glasses. Could this be the mysterious Mr. X? The reporters frantically pressed microphones at him, but he remained silent, straightened his tie, and walked into the courtroom where Jim Jones sat quietly with his lawyers by his side. His hoodie gone, his face hollow and bare, not the larger-than-life Harlem hustler we had known, but a man watching the pieces of his world fall apart. A moment later, he entered wearing a Dipset varsity jacket, and his expression was, "I live for this mess." The judge then called for silence. The gallery leaned forward as if they were about to hear the verdict of a murder trial under oath. And the courtroom sat in shock as Mr. X took the stand. Mr. X confirmed that he had known Chrissy for years, and that their relationship had once been more than just their relationship and her career. The crowd outside erupted as news broke. Hashtags exploded about her Jim Jones trial or Chris's secret child, and Mr. X revealed memes. Then, for the first time in hours, Jim Jones looked up, and his eyes locked on the man who claimed to be the father of the child fiancé had hidden. He reportedly whispered, "I gave her everything." Mr. X then revealed what sent Twitter into a frenzy. He and Chrissy had signed a private legal agreement to keep everything hidden, including Chrissy's monthly child support payments. The court had reportedly had a copy of the agreement to read trust issues instead of diplomats. The defense quickly objected, saying that the documents were unauthenticated, that Mr. X was pursuing fame, and that everything he had said was a well-crafted lie meant to undermine a famous couple. But the damage was already done, because the court of public opinion had already handed down its verdict during lunch. Jim left the building, surrounded by security photographers who captured him with his head down, shoulders, and a hunch. Cameron, however, emerged, eating a hot dog and waving to fans as if he were walking a red carpet as proceedings resumed. According to the judge, who said that the shocking evidence had caught the attention of state and federal investigators, and that rumors of money laundering, unreported child support funds, and fraud started swirling like vultures, Jim's lawyer requested an emergency adjournment to review the new evidence and prepare a defense against potential criminal exposure. As the fallout unfolded in real time, several record labels started to pull out of pending deals with Jim, while sponsors quietly withdrew contracts and reality TV producers discussed whether to cancel or supercharge the upcoming season. A viral TikTok thread that dubbed Jim the new Tristan Thompson of hip-hop sparked speculation about whether Chrissy had been playing the long game for years. Some fans called for forgiveness, while others said that Jim was done. Jim reportedly stood for a few seconds before leaving alone. A passerby allegedly muttered, "Told you." Whether Jim heard it or not, nobody knows. The headlines couldn't wait when the court reconvened in 2 weeks. In the meantime, Cameron hosted a surprise Instagram live event called Petty Wins Again, where he recapped the entire drama for his followers while sipping tea and listening to the background music. He ended the stream with a final jab, saying, "At least I don't have to find out on TMZ legal experts weighed in." The following morning, the Dipset merch store mysteriously went offline and Jim's social media remained silent. Chrissy finally broke her silence, posting a mysterious black square without a caption, which only fueled speculation about whether it was an apology, a power move, or a farewell. As of right now, there are no definitive answers. Chrissy is still silent. Jim is still missing. Cam is still Cam. And the world is still glued to the mess. What do you think? Is Chrissy the main antagonist? Or is there more to this story than anyone knows? Every blogger, podcaster, and couch detective had a theory about the story that dominated headlines for weeks. Fans wondered if Jim and Chrissy would get back together if there was any chance to rebuild their brand, or if would permanently fracture not just a relationship but an entire hip-hop legacy. We want to hear it all. If you like explosive celebrity drama with a dash of sarcasm, don't forget to like this video. Hit the subscribe button and enable notifications. Promise you'll want to be the first to know when the next bombshell drops. So stay messy, stay skeptical, and stay alert. Was Cameron blindsided, or did he choose to ignore warning signs? Will Cameron ever get tired of being the king of petty? Spoiler alerts? It's probably just the beginning. There will be more leaks, receipts, and courtroom drama. We want to hear your wildest theories in the comments section right now. Was Jim Jones completely unprepared, or was he simply ignoring all the signs? Is Chrissy playing some sort of next-level survival game? Or is this the ultimate betrayal? Let's be honest. Is Cameron just stirring the pot for fun, or does he have a bigger plan up his sleeve? Remember that in the world of celebrity fake news, the tea never stops brewing. And that, my friends, is the messy, chaotic, jaw-dropping saga that no one saw coming. If you're as addicted to celebrity drama as we are, be sure to hit the like button, smash, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I assure you that in the world of false news scandals, the drama never stops brewing. The tea always gets hotter, and the secrets only get dirtier.